Is this a vlog? Or is it a YouTube channel? Is it informative? Or is it about my life? I'm still trying to figure this out. I'm having an interesting, pondering thought in my mind right now. Earlier I made a video about my stereo system and I thought, you know, it's funny because there are channels that are dedicated to nothing but stereo equipment. Nothing but stereos and amplifiers, people who tour around and go to stereo and sound shows. For me, I'm obsessed with my sound system. I just love my stereo. But I might make a couple videos about it and then move on to something else. My hobbies come and go, but for a lot of people they really stick with one thing. So they can make a YouTube channel about audio equipment, or a YouTube channel about music, or a YouTube channel about lighting, or magnetism, or backyard explosions, anything. And they will attract an audience for that type of, thought, that type of hobby. And for me, it's really weird because all of my subscribers that I get are random people that subscribe for different reasons. All of you are like, some people say, oh, I came for the Kratom videos and I stayed for the philosophy. I've heard that actually a few times, which is funny. And I think, I know a lot of people came to my videos during either seeing ones about Kratom, CBD, Mucuna. And I don't talk about those all that often, but when I started this channel about 8 years ago, I wanted to do it for the sake of 7 years ago. I wanted to do it for the sake of sharing my own thoughts, like kind of a journal. But I couldn't believe it when I got to like my first 100 subscribers, and then I got to 1,000, then I got to 10,000, and now I think it's at like 17,600 or something like that. And wow, it's weird. I'm just a dude talking to my camera, and it still feels awkward to do it. It still feels weird to like make videos talking to all of you out there. But I'm inspired because of the positive feedback. I've even had people in the past say things like, oh, well, you just make YouTube videos because, people like it, basically is what they were saying. Or people, give you reinforcement. I'm like, well, isn't that why we keep doing things in life at all? If people like something, then we keep doing it. And honestly, I've had a dream of making, speaking to audiences and whatnot, and doing it for a living, but I still feel too awkward, I still have a little bit of even people who are local, let's say my Kratom customers, they'll say, oh, you live in Vancouver, Washington, oh yeah, I'm in the Portland area, could we meet up in person? And I usually say, I just feel awkward. I don't like meeting people in person that I don't know very well. I feel a little introverted that way. And so I like to do things on my own terms. I'm sitting here in front of my camera in my home. That's where I feel safe. And I still feel weird making videos out in public even. So I realized I kind of have I don't know, that introverted nature is kind of it can be crippling, but it also is protective. Because I've met a lot of shitty people and I protect myself from them by avoiding talking to random people. So anyhow, life is complicated, right? We don't know a goddamn thing about where we're going or where we came from, but while we're here, we're trying to figure it out and do the best we can. Finding an outlet during that time, like YouTube, is fucking awesome for me. I fucking love it. Pardon my language twice, but I really do. I like being able to talk about stereo equipment one week, because that's what kind of got me thinking about this. Like, I was like, I'm making a video about my stereo, and some people who are into stereos will find this that don't watch my channel and randomly be like, well, should I subscribe because this guy talked about stereos once or twice, but hardly ever. And I think that's why my channel has been so slow to grow over a period of time. You know, because I've seen people who've got 1 million subscribers in 3 years because they bust their ass and promote their channel, and I just don't give a shit about that. Because a couple of reasons. I do give a shit because I'd like to do it for a living, but who wouldn't, right? Who wouldn't like to make YouTube videos for a living? I mean, I think I have maybe 15 Patreon subscribers, and you guys are fucking awesome. I have a list of all of them in the description, so give them props. I didn't expect to get anything, but people kept asking me if they could donate to the channel. And I was like, well, I had a PayPal for a while, but then they terminated me because I'm a Kratom vendor, and they found out, so fuck you, PayPal. But I decided to have a Patreon account, and lo and behold, slowly after, I've had it for like 3 years, but I don't talk about it much, but I started mentioning it lately, because I was like, well, and so I've had a few, you know, new patrons, which I'm going to start naming people, and I also wanted to say to my patrons, if you send me a message through Patreon, I can make a video about anything, you know, that you might want me to talk about if you have a particular interest, or something you want to learn about. I love to research, and I'd be more than glad to do it for my patrons. But if somebody asked me to do it through my YouTube channel, I can't identify people's screen names with their Patreon names and their email names, and I have a really hard time with that. I have people who are like, oh yeah, it's so-and-so from YouTube, and honestly, I realize I just kind of gloss over the names sometimes. I know a person's icon and their name, I see it, but maybe it's like a, I don't know, mild form of like, I don't know what it is, but anyhow, that's my ramble. I just wanted to talk about my channel, say thank you all for watching. I used to make like an annual update to my channel about what it's about, you know, and it keeps changing over time. But the one consistency is that I just talk about whatever's on my mind, and hopefully you like it, because I like it, and thanks for watching. Thanks to everybody for making it awesome, because honestly at first maybe it wasn't a big deal, but you know, after 7 years, that's a huge part of my life. You know, a huge chunk of my life that I've been making YouTube videos every day almost. And so, I don't know, it's a weird thing, you know. It really is part of me, and one of the few things I've been consistent with. So, though my YouTube videos may not be consistent, at least making YouTube videos is pretty consistent, right? Talk to y'all later. Have a wonderful day, and thanks for watching. What it's worth.